Welcome to this Age of Empires forecasted game, and today spawning in the southeast corner of the map, we've got beastyqt playing in teal as the Chinese. His opponent today in the northwest in blue, Kaiser Johan, playing as the Abbasid dynasty. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Highview, and what could be a fascinating game of Age of Empires 4. I'm not so sure, because these two civilizations are often kind of very boomy in their approach. You know, they often go for a heavy villager kind of production thing going on, many town centers, and they could drag out the game a bit long, but it's a beastyqt casted game, so I thought I'd get one in there. And Kaiser Johan, we've seen him quite a few times on the channel recently actually, and we've been enjoying his game, so you know, it's got the recipe for some good Age of Empires 4 action. We shall see how it actually ends up being. And well, the map is Highview, so a couple of options really, a couple of possibilities. I have to say though, whilst traditionally these two civilizations are known to be very kind of eco-based, they do have a couple of tricks up their sleeves. In particular, the House of Wisdom has had a rework recently of recent patches. Obviously there are 4 different wings: the economy wing, the culture wing, the military wing, and the trade wing. And the military wing could be a thing, like it's being used a lot more often these days. It gives you a couple of units for free, and could be a nice way to put some pressure on nice and early. But the thing about doing that is the Chinese, they do get the Barbican in the Sun, which is a nice static defense for their feudal age landmark. And they could also go for Song Dynasty. Now the typical thing for the Chinese to do is to go for a 2-town center Song Dynasty build. So they're going to pump out those villages to match what's often a 2-town center build for the Abbasid dynasty. We will see if there's going to be anything mixed up here today on Highview. And yeah, I mean, whilst we're waiting, just to let you guys know, I mean, I have been talking about a lot about you know, meat and stuff. Veal, we were talking about in the last game, I think we was. Now, what I want to know is the vegetarians out there. What do you guys have? What's your favorite dish? What's your favorite vegetarian? It doesn't have to be vegetarians. I mean, if you're a meat eater and you like vegetables, and you know, you could have a vegetarian favorite dish too. So, this is for everyone. What's your favorite vegetarian dish you've ever had in the world? I'm not so sure about mine. I'd say it's got to probably involve some sort of stir fry, maybe like a vegetarian stir fry. Could be good. I think that definitely does scratch an itch when I'm hungry. Speaking of hungry, well, the villagers aren't going to be as hungry as they possibly could have been, because it's going to go up to the culture age, and well, the culture wing rather, and that will take them to the feudal age for the House of Wisdom and the Abbasid dynasty. The reason why I say that is because they're going to need less food, these villagers, to get to that castle age when he does eventually, or think about getting there. It's an interesting way to approach this matchup. Going to be getting the technologies for a bit cheaper as well. The culture wing could be decent. Let's just see. You know, you can get preservation of knowledge, which is quite a nice technology. As we said, it reduces the cost of all technologies by 20%. You know, I've never really looked at the castle age and imperial age kind of upgrades you get with this wing. Medical centers, yep, I remember that one. And also, do I even try and say this? I'm not going to, not on stream. I'm going to have a couple of times to practice this, I think, in the future, that I'd be able to do it. Don't worry. But this is interesting. I like this mechanic with the imams being able to convert units. We don't really see it very often at all. But it could be pretty useful if you're going up against, like, Delhi elephants. We've been seeing a lot of Delhi these days, like the late Imperial Age Delhis, where they get a lot of mass elephants. So that could be a nice upgrade to counter that, actually, in nice ways. In any case, it's going to be the Imperial Academy for beastyqt to get to that feudal age, and that will enable him to eventually get that Song Dynasty, because they often, I mean, they got to go for the Barbican in the Sun, right? Like, the Chinese never not go for the Barbican in the Sun, whether it's on its own or whether it's in combination with the Imperial Academy to get that Song Dynasty. But typical build here from Beastie, really. But the thing is kind of interesting is went for the culture wing. And yeah, preservation and knowledge coming in straight away. And I think after that comes in, he's going to be getting all the eco upgrades you can possibly muster, including things like fresh foodstuffs. And that will really get the economy live and rocking here for the Abbasid dynasty. Going to be going over to stone now as well for that second town centre, which Beastie will no doubt, well, he just passed it, but he probably have seen those villagers go past to the stone. Not that it will change his game plan all that much, I don't think. I think the Chinese is an interesting civilization. I feel like whilst they're very adaptable against civilizations like the Abbasid dynasty, they can actually be pretty kind of stubborn in what they want to do. Just go for the crazy economy boom. They can often get away with it as well. We'll see if beastyqt can get away with it today. Going to be heading into the 6th minute of the game very soon. And on that note, just to let you guys know, if you have been enjoying the casted game so far on the channel, I really do appreciate everyone's support. Do feel free to give the video a thumbs up. It's totally free for you guys, but it helps me out loads. I guess more importantly, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. More importantly, again, let's hit that notification bell, because then you always get those notifications when I do go and post some videos. In particular, I think we're going to be excited about the new DLC. New Civilisations for Age of Empires 4 will be coming very soon. I'm definitely obviously going to be covering that. I'm going to be casting loads of games from the new DLC. New Civilization matchups. I'm super excited about that. We don't have a release date just yet. But it's coming soon. It's coming. And so you don't want to be missing any of that content. It does look like Japanese is pretty much confirmed at this stage as one of the new civilizations. There is some possibilities of others. Possibly the Byzantines. I'm not sure. Maybe one that's from the Middle East. Like that kind of region as well, because of the name of the DLC. It could be interesting. It could be interesting, certainly. Well, new villages coming out in the north area for the berries and the gold, rather. That's going to be the position for the town centre, no doubt. Actually, on that note, because the DLC is going to be called Sultan's Ascend, so do let me know in the comment section below which civilizations you think are coming. I think at this stage it's pretty much Japanese confirmed, but if there's another civilization to pop out, which one do you think it's going to be? I think there's going to be a second civ, most likely, because the devs have pretty much said that this is going to be the biggest DLC ever for Age of Empires 4. And the last DLC got us 2 civs, right? So if anything, we get maybe 2 or 3 civs. Let's just say they get 3 civs. Which are the other 2 civilizations you think we'll get in addition to the Japanese? Well, interestingly enough, actually, Beastie's overmined on stone. Well, I say overmined, but he's going to get that second town center. Oh, holy moly. He's going to go for a 3rd town center. Beastie playing greedy, especially with the Song Dynasty. That's kind of crazy, actually. So, this is really interesting because the Abbasid dynasty with 2 town centers, you know, that's outperformed by the Chinese 2 town center Song Dynasty. But he's even going to go for a 3rd town center. Now, when this happens, you're going to need to usually wall up with palisades. Let's just see what Beastie's base is like. It does have deer at the bottom. It does have a gold vein and a stone and berries. So it'd be nice to get some palisade walls here. Oh, this is great, actually. Palisade walls to the town center. Yeah, done. Job done. Bob's your uncle. Nice protected economy. And it'd be a struggle for the Abbasid dynasty to do effective damage. It's going to need to scout this as well, because it's not typical that the Chinese go for 3 town centers. So Kaiser Johan's got to be careful. He's not going to be anticipating it naturally. He needs to make sure he's scouting and taking the appropriate measures and getting the appropriate information he needs to win this game, potentially, if he wants to. We'll see. We'll see what he can manage. Villager coming out to maybe palisade wall this, but the scout will probably try and deny that as much as possible. Now, villager lead is already in favour of Beastie, because of course he had that Song Dynasty, but now he's got 3 town centers rather. I mean, so used to seeing Chinese get 2 town centers. I missed that for a second. Interesting enough, this guy's actually going to be... Oh no, he's going to collect some more tax from another drop-off building before depositing in the Imperial Academy. Could have just deposited it there, but yeah, it is what it is. It would then reset the timer. And there we go. Pick it up, that gold. Nice tax coming in. But courtesy of the culture wing coming in the feudal age, well, the Abbasid dynasty is going to go to the Imperial age. That, you know, just skip an age, why don't you? No, but he's going to go to the castle age. And it's going to go up with the military wing. So he's going to get a couple of units for free. He's going to get 2 camel riders, which would be nice. And he does have the ability now to unlock boot camp and composite bows. And for a long period of time, I think those 2 upgrades have been pretty broken for their archers. I would quite like to see maybe... Oh, he's got double archery range coming down as well, so he certainly will be, you know, leveraging that. And he's producing archers too, so definitely going to be going for those archers. He's also getting steel arrow, which is going to be cheaper from the blacksmith, which is very, very nice for Kaiser Johan. Gets it for a lot cheaper. Usually it's 50 wood, 125 gold, so nice bit of savings there. Palisade walls have come up here for BC. It's going to protect that economy at the back end of the base. Now, whilst things are a bit slow to get going, the 2 archers now are doing some damage. Hasn't killed any villagers just yet. Zhugnu popping out for Beastie, though. But look at the villager lead. Holy moly. 14 villager lead, and that's going to really translate into military very soon. And that's a problem for Kaiser Johan, because, well, Kaiser Johan just hasn't been able to do the damage you'd want to do. More archery ranges. Holy moly, 4 archery ranges. I think he's going to leverage composite bows, isn't he? You can just kind of feel it here at this point. Now, the one thing that's good for the Abbasid dynasty, whilst he hasn't been able to do too much damage, you should be able to pick up relics. If you get a sizable number of relics, that could hold him well if it gets to the super late Imperial Age kind of side of things. But the trouble with that is he can't rely on that. He's 20 villages behind. Now, this economy is really going to translate into heavy military unit presence for the Chinese if he's not punished, and if he's not punished soon. Let's take a look at the income per minute now at this point. Yeah, 1,500 food per minute coming from the Chinese. Only 500 here, 400 Kaiser Johan. That just tells you a story as in and of itself. It's actually kind of crazy. The amount of resources that beast is getting right now. This could get out of hand, and maybe this won't be such an interesting match because it just looks like beast is going to boom his way into victory. Unless Kaiser Johan can do something about this. He is sending units forward now. 18 of them. He's going to snipe a couple of these villages. The walls won't go up. We might lose a couple of villages if he spots it. Kaiser, no, don't let this go up. Yeah, he does now start to spot that. beastyqt, the attack notification, he backs off pretty quickly. And, well, first blood comes in, but only 1 villager killed so far. He needs a lot more. An archer being annoying on the west side, denying the walls going up for now temporarily, but not for long because Barbican will defend that position. The archers are now in on the east side, and it's going to be the astronomical clock tower. Landmark of choice for the Chinese, and that's kind of bad news because, well, we just saw the Abbasid dynasty tech into, get loads of archery ranges for, archers. And their kind of arch nemesis is the Nest of Bees, a really strong unit for the Chinese civilization. If you're not aware of that civilization unit, right, it just basically fires rockets out and kills everything in its way. Especially when it's massed up in decent numbers. Add that with the Chukanu. Could be pretty crazy. But 25 military to 11 could be a situation where Kaiser Johan tries to overwhelm Beastie. Getting some villages on the west side for the berries. Free food to be had, of course. Wonder if he's got a mosque here for some relics. Not just yet. But certainly will be something he needs to think about. Denying some key resources in terms of deer, gold, and the boar is also going to keep him open by just walling up a little bit there, denying the full palisade walls there for Beastie. He could just wall around that, to be fair, but obviously he has to send some villagers there and protect them, which he doesn't really have the means to do at the moment. 35 military to 16, but that villager lead really starting to get scary. And, well, the food income's coming back here for the Abbasid dynasty, which is kind of nice for him. He needs that food income. Here comes the mosque for the imams that gather those relics. Certainly useful for them if you can get it. But yeah, I mean, the economy here looking strong for Beastie. There's no doubt about that. Almost 30 villager lead. 2 camels diving in, going to tank a lot of the fire from these Shuganu. The archers on the back line of that will be sniping a lot of those Jukanus. He doesn't have enough numbers, even though these guys do fire very fast. It's not going to be enough. He's going to have to backtrack, and he's going to lose some villagers in the meantime. The archers from the Abbasid dynasty, they surround the village. Villagers are garrisoned inside, looking for safety and protection. They do get that protection that they wanted. And a couple of outposts here for Kaiser Johan just to cement that position on the map. And I like that. I like that a lot, because you want to be getting map control when you can, as far as you can. Especially when you need to capitalize on it. Now, 10 villagers have fallen. But look at this. Beastie still has an incredible villager lead. Holy moly. 24 villagers. And at this point, all he needs is 1 nest of bees, right? He's actually going to be... He's already queued that up. He just needs like 1 or 2 nest of bees, and these archers are forced back. Forces Kaiser Johan into siege of his own. He's going to get a springald. He can just anticipate it, right? I love the way the pro players do this. They kind of know what's going to happen before it happens, because, well, it's kind of the logical thing to happen, right? Like, if there's masses of archers and you have an astronomical clock tower, naturally, you're going to get a nest of bees. And so naturally, the Abbasid dynasty then reacts to get those springalds. All happens ahead of time as well. Scouting spots this. The village is going to back away. Beastie knows it's happening as well. Villagers should get away. They need to build a gate, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Again, archers not getting too much more value at this point. So many villagers here, though. Holy smokes, 47. It's kind of disgusting when you think about it. But Kaiser Johan certainly needs to do some damage. Looking to do so. Try to deny that. Here comes the rams. It's good to shout some damage. He needs to, really. Uh-oh, that's bad for Beastie. He loses a couple of villagers. Should get another retreat. No. The Juganu are going to push this way. And the nest of bees. He needs to get out of there, Kaiser Johan. He will not want to get cornered. That could be what happens. Oh no, he's walling out. No, the archers haven't spotted it. beastyqt going to be walling this up nicely. Created a bit of a maze for himself. At least for these units. Will they break through? Will it be spotted? Will it be denied? No, no, just... Oh, I guess he feels like he can't. I don't know, maybe the pathing changed because it blocked off, but I'm not sure if Kaiser noticed that. The concern for him is that his reinforcements will come in very slowly now because of that. Like, he will need reinforcements eventually. The archer's just chilling out in the south. Where are those villagers gone, actually? Let's keep it a detail. It's gone... Okay, it's gone much further west to get some gold. Sending an Imperial official to supervise as well. Holy smokes, he's taking his opponent's... Okay, that's cute. They're going to both go for the same berries. He's going to get an outpost first here, Beastie. Nice touch there. Yeah, those units are tracking round, pathing because of the walls. There is a ram, but villagers coming out to bomb that. No, I mean torch it, really. Holy moly. Choice of words, eh? Well, a couple of villagers have been lost. 21 in total, but he still has almost a... Well, he's 23 villager lead. Kind of crazy. Massive farming transition coming out of this. That's not necessarily what the Chinese want to do, but with the economy he's got, it shouldn't be a problem. The reason why you don't want to do that is because the heavy wood investment. Villagers are having to back off now. Look at that. Beastie pushing away the Abbasid dynasty from the resources they want to get. That's actually really painful for Kaiser Johan. He would not want that at all. When STBs fires off on a couple of crossbows. On the east side, here come 3 springords and rams. They're poking away at the production buildings. It would be bad if he loses those. A couple of archers going to the corners. Villagers need to be careful here on gold. They could be sniped by the archers. Be the best way to get some value out of them. Alaskar's chasing this down. These units are dead here, really, for the Abbasid dynasty. Let's try and run away as much as they possibly can. Trickling in some units into the main heart of the base. 2 rams are on the field with 3 springords to protect. Well, actually 3 rams on the field. And villagers coming out to torch down the Abbasid dynasty mill. He wants to deal with that though surely soon. He can't afford Beastie just to take the resources there for free. And this has been boosted as well, which is kind of funny because I think the Chinese now benefit from more berries here. 2 STBs. Oh, that's going to be painful. Fireworks. Oof. Hope you guys caught the show. Let's move elsewhere because these guys are dead. Shugni chasing down those archers. And yeah, they're trapped. There's no way out for them. But a bit of a push coming in from the east with the mangonel being deployed as well. And all of a sudden, with 40 lost villagers over here. Holy smokes, yeah, lost a lot here. Understand? Whoa, holy moly, there's more even here. With 40 lost villagers, Beastie, his villager lead isn't all that impressive compared to his opponents. And, well, the military's lacking as well. So this is really strong push here by Kaiser Johan. He's dished out a lot of damage. And he's killed a lot of villagers. And that's the key bit of detail. We were talking about how important that was. And I felt like it was coming in a little bit too slow. And maybe it is still the case that it's coming in too slow. But he has done it. He's staying in the game. The game's not over. This is not as one-sided as you may once thought it could be. Because it's really starting to pick up. Does feel a bit precarious though because it's quite on a fine balance. It does have more military, but with springords and STBs this could turn into a massive siege fight, and well, the Chinese just have better siege in this situation. The astronomical clock tower really benefits them. This landmark obviously acts as a siege workshop, but it also produces siege engines with 50% health. Like, imagine that. Always 1.5 times better than your own siege in terms of health at least. If you're going up against that, it's pretty rough. But on the back of this, well, the Abbasid dynasty are picking up those relics. We talked about how he got the mosque, and he's got 2 in the bank already. Going to be getting a 3rd. That's 1 sacred site activated. Nothing in the way of those resources generating structures or units or stuff there for Beastie, I'm afraid. The east side. What's this attack notification? Just a bit of a wolf aggroing. Yeah, killing them with the springald. Getting rid of the wolves. He just doesn't like them, Kaiser Johan. He doesn't like wolves. He's had bad experiences in the past with them, I guess. A lot of villagers. Wait, are those villagers? No, those aren't. Those archers, yeah. Because of the being blocked off here, it was kind of clutch play by Beastie to reduce the reinforcements coming in. And holy moly, Beastie wants to play that late game. I suspect because he just continues to produce some villagers. Doesn't really have the military numbers to take a huge engagement on the front lines. He just needs to defend for now with 3 firework generating units. The STBs. In any case, behind this, I mean, I wonder whether Kaiser Johan thinks about a 3rd town site. It's a little bit late though, really, to make that kind of switch. Gets another relic. He needs to get a mosque. Can't fit them all in one. You can only fit a maximum of 3 relics in a mosque. starting to become a bit of a death ball of units, especially with the siege added in. I think that's the big scary thing. I think when you're struggling to produce like multiple units in terms of infantry, chuck in some siege there. It always adds a lot of value. Going through the stealth forest, the Abbasid dynasty trying to cause some pressure and some damage. See if it can. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What is this? It is trade. Alright, Kaiser Johan. He's going to go up with the trade wing to the Imperial Age as well. And so is Beastie. He's going to go up with the Great Wall Gatehouse. He's going to place this in front of his farming transition right here. Look at the farming transition there for Beastie. Holy smokes, that's going to hold him in good stead. But you know what? The food production is not all that bad for Kaiser Johan. When you factor in the amount of gold coming in and wood as well for him, especially with the 3 relics and the 4th one being added into the mix in the sacred site. Nothing in the way of those things for Beastie. Maybe he doesn't care. He feels like obviously he's got a massive villager lead. He doesn't actually have like a huge one at all. He's lost 52 villagers. In any case, as we pan across the map. Well, not a lot else going on. Gets an outpost on the gold, but doesn't really offer that much in terms of help there, because those villagers could go down to the archers. We shall see Kaiser Johan jumping in a little bit. Let's just see what upgrades he got from the House of Wisdom in the end. Yeah, he did get boot camp and composite bows, as you'd expect. And look at that condensed economy for the Chinese. It'll be hard to take care of, especially with stone walls coming out now. Holy moly. He's going to try and ram it down, but there are enough palace guards to push that away. I think those archers need to back away. Those archers won't be able to do enough damage, I don't think. I think there's 1 or 2 crossbows there, to be fair. With the trade wing. So he's going to go out with the trade wing, and he's going to be trading as well, which is nice. Let's take a look at the upgrades possible with the Grand Bazaar. Trade and trade ships also return with a secondary resource. Could be strong, maybe with stone. I'm not sure actually if we can tackle that to stone. They may have taken that out. In any case, pretty nice as an upgrade. Armored caravans. Grants 5+ armor to them. Pretty cool. And spice roads. Increases the gold income from traders and trade ships by 30%. Could be nice. He's got 4 markets, so he's probably going to be producing quite a lot from them. Has already got 186 population though, so probably not. He's not going to have the population space to do it, but look at that farm. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Let's just take a moment just to breathe that in. Look at that farming. I love it. Well, looks like Kaiser Johan wants to wall up himself. He believes in the power of the late game Abbasid dynasty with trade. He believes. But we'll see. There's quite a death ball of siege coming up here. If that's protected by some palace guards and crossbowmen, it could be very strong for the Chinese to push against whatever the Abbasid dynasty might come in with. Two mangonels supported by some gulams and some crossbows. Crossbows just denying the stone walls here for the Abbasid dynasty. Less than ideal. Not very ideal at all. He kind of wants to get that up and running. He wants to protect the trade. This is kind of an issue because not keeping this closed now means the trade will be spotted, and well, Beastie will try and pressurize that. That is for sure. Wait a minute. Oh dear. Maganel went down pretty quickly, unfortunately. Now, the walls have been broken. Certainly a bit of a maze there, eh? Oh, crossbows and a couple of archers went into the farming economy. That's actually kind of painful for Beastie. 61 villages he's lost, but he has dished out some damage himself, you know? These guys are dishing out damage for sure. Veteran Jugunu on the traders. Caused a lot of economy damage. Maganel's heading back. Just slow mobility. They're not getting there into the fight. And Nesta Bees takes out the archers with a huge explosion. A huge fireworks show. 3 Nesta Bees. Holy moly, these guys. They dish out so much damage. Alright, Gulams have taken care of that. He stopped the bleeding, at least for now, but beastyqt's village is 132 versus 116. Economy's still holding steady though for the Abbasid dynasty somewhat. Oh, he's kind of getting pressurized though. Losing villagers trying to get that stone wall up. Should he get there in time? Oh no, holy man, I'm not sure about this. There are too many palace guards, and he's getting attacked on the farms as well. This is actually huge. He's not stopped this, and the fact that he's not got the static defenses in terms of the walls up. This is painful. Palace guards getting so much value. He's losing villagers left, right, and center here. Kaiser Johan doesn't have the ability to reproduce them as quickly, although he could add some traders. Does still have the sacred site. Well, BC's going to try and still deny the stone walls. 2 mangonels should take care of that, but not without casualties. This is painful. In fact, he hasn't got the stone walls up. Really hurt him. Alright, well, things getting itchy because, well, BC's economy should start to manifest itself in terms of military. He's got 3 Nesta Bees, palace guards to defend, decent number of springholds. And Johan does have plenty of stone though. Could consider dropping a couple of keeps. He might need it as well, to be honest. Not spending the stone he's got. Plenty of food and wood. Question is, what does he spend it on? He needs more production, I think. His population's kind of dropping a little bit, and BC has 200 population for quite some time. Granted, a lot of them are economy units. I think BC might just consider deleting some villages at some point and just pumping units. Kind of struggling for resources for now though, so might not do that option too quickly. Three Nesta Bees, 4 springles, well, palace guards really. Uh-oh, crossbows are dying. That is rough. Ram does break through, but there's already an opening anyway. It gives Kaiser Johan even more problems to deal with. Man-at-arms diving in. A couple of hand cannoneers are out, but it's kind of interesting how Beastie is making the most of his low numbers of units. Only 32. Kaiser Johan has 52. A lot of his units are back at home inside the base. Man-at-arms. Well, I don't think... Actually, there is no man-at-arms featured in this game. The abbasid dynasty get gulams. The Chinese get palace guards, of course. Heading right to the back of the base. Again, can do even more eco damage. Villager lead is by about 40 villages. It's kind of huge, and the bleeding has stopped here for Beastie. Look at that. Whilst he's lost 61 villages, he's killing so many more of the abbasid dynasty. His population is really struggling. He's down under 100 villages now, Kaiser Johan. Where does he go from here? He's going to need to pump out military. He needs to stabilize if he can. Nesta Bees are being lost on the front lines, but they cause a lot of damage themselves. Culverin taking the rest out. And huge loss of siege there. A couple of springles should take out units as they approach. Not go for the Culverin though, which is surprising. Culverin takes out a springald rather. In the north, a couple of these palace guards going to harass the second town centre and the trade as well, but down to 91 economy units. This is looking sticky for Kaiser Johan. The momentum is just in the way of beastyqt right now with the Chinese. Still breaking through the walls. On the west side, yeah, just more rams. And this is the thing, Beasty's going to ram his way through into victory, I think. It's a tricky one situation, but Kaiser Johan has come back from lesser odds. Worser odds, I should say. It was almost down and out really in the feudal age when, or the mid feudal age, or late feudal age, mid castle age. He was basically down by 30 villages. A lot of the traders being denied. That's another problem. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Kaiser Johan taps out. beastyqt's push was just a little bit too much. His economy was a little bit too much. And 3 town centre Song Dynasty looking pretty strong. I hope you guys enjoyed the casted game. Not a lot of action in the middle. But at the beginning, there was a decent amount. A lot of villages went down for Kaiser Johan. He wasn't able to stop the bleeding. And he taps out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care. And see you next time.